So for the last week, Funko has actually been announcing some pretty banger pops, considering that a lot of 2024 has been a little bit lackluster, especially some of the TargetCon exclusives. We started off NFTs really bad with the Squid Game set, but this specific week has probably been the best week so far of 2024 Funko Pop reveals. So I'm DK Wrestler, and I thought for today's video, we're going to be talking over the Funko Pop announcements that have been revealed the past week. So the first pop we're going to be looking at is Master P for, I believe it's the Pop Rocks lineup. I believe this is a rapper, and I'm not entirely a fan of rap music, so I don't have much of a personal reaction towards it, but I know that a lot of people are really excited about this. I do like the detail of basically the golden grills on the teeth to actually show that he's got a mouth there, so I really like when Funko does that. Next up is a 4-pack of Soundgarden featuring Chris Cornell, Kim Thale, Ben Shepherd, and Matt Cameron. This isn't too bad of an idea. I mean, if you don't want to fork up so much money for the Funko Pop albums of Bad Motorfinger that they did for Soundgarden, then I guess this is an alternative route, but I think you're kind of better off just getting the Pop albums, to be honest. I think it does look cooler, even though it is just like a 4-pack with like the picture of the album beside it, and it takes up a lot more space in your Funko Pop collection, but I don't know, I just kind of dig the Pop album more than just remaking these into a 4-pack. Next up, we have some NFL Pops with Jerry Rice, Troy Aikman, Joe Namath, Ray Lewis, and Terry Bradshaw, which it looks like in this photo, a couple of them, because of the way the boxes are actually going to be 10-inch pops, more specifically the Jerry Rice and the Troy Aikman. I don't know too much about NFL, and this might be a little bit of a hot take, and people might be mad when I say this, but I easily think that the NFL is the most overrated sport. Then officially confirmed were the glam shots of the redeemables for the Star Trek Funko NFT drop, which if you guys haven't yet, yesterday's video on the channel was me opening up the Star Trek The Next Generation NFT packs, in which we did fairly good, so you guys definitely should check that out. And these pops overall, I do like this set much more than what we got for the Star Trek original set back in 2021, where all it was just blacklight pops. Then Hot Topic had announced a Brendan Urie Panic at the Disco pop albums. Panic at the Disco has never had a pop albums before, which I like when Funko does the first pop albums of an artist instead of making a bunch of more, let's say, Biggie Smalls or AC/DC. Give some artists a shot at having a pop albums. Hopefully very soon they do make a Green Day pop albums, because I know for sure I'd be all over that since that's my favorite band. And then we have the announcement of the Undertaker Hall of Fame pop that's exclusive to Fanatics. Being a wrestling fan, so I do collect a lot of the WWE pops, but a bit more of a niche in terms of that set is collecting every single Undertaker Funko Pop. So when I first seen like the leaked photo of this and then officially being confirmed as an exclusive to somewhere, I knew right away that I'm going to be buying this pop. It's basically almost a remold of that OG Undertaker pop, but more of 2024 standards, and you get that little Hall of Fame plaque where it does have a design of the Undertaker, and I will for sure be buying the Kane one that recently released a couple weeks back, because that one is leaps and bounds better in detail than the OG Kane, which I do own that in my collection also, but having both Undertaker and Kane in this way, I definitely am going to be copping for it. Then we got ourselves a Carl Pop from Up, which is a part of the Pops with Purpose lineup exclusive to the Funko Shop. This had a lot of people excited, especially because partial proceeds will be going to the Ed Asner Foundation, in which that's pretty cool. I like when they do that with certain Funko Pops, especially because I think as of late, that's actually been well known because of the YouTuber Sidekick Inc., who does these auctions here and there, basically donating to that same organization. The overall detail is really awesome with like, I don't remember what they called the species of birds that Kevin is, but that's basically what we got going on as terms to this pop, where he is holding like 3 of them realistically, when one is at the side of him, one he's holding in his hand, and one is on top of his head. Hopefully he doesn't poop on his head. Then Funko announced Saltburn Funko Pops, which if I can be completely honest with you, I've never heard about this. I don't know if this is a musician, I don't know if it's a movie or a TV show, but I don't really care. But I think some people are excited about this. Then the reason I actually wanted to do this video, LaVine Pops are happening here, guys. We have ourselves a Skater Boy singular pop for the Rocks lineup, and then we're actually having a Let Go Pop albums. Avril Lavigne was easily, I can say, my childhood crush at like 8 years old. I loved listening to Avril Lavigne. That first album, Let Go, is pretty good with like Complicated and of course Skater Boy, which is is what the singular pop is based off of. But personally, if I'm choosing albums, I would rather have a Under My Skin pop albums, which Funko, if you do that album also, I will 100% be picking that up because a lot of bangers are on that album, including My Happy Ending and my favorite song by her of all time, Nobody's Home. But regardless, both of these pops are pretty cool, and especially if you are a viewer of certain Funko YouTubers, if you look at the Avril Lavigne closely, and I don't know if you watch these YouTubers, but doesn't the Avril Lavigne pop look like Heather from the Gasolcast? I certainly think so. Like, you put the faces side by side, I think that could be a Heather Funko Pop. Then we have a new set of NBA pops, which features some singular pops and some of the NBA Slam covers, which I guess is all right. I'm not really a big fan of NBA, but of course, they are going to pump up some more pops of, let's say, LeBron James, which is in this set, and Klay Thompson. Then Funko announced a new concept for the Pop Yourself, and it's basically based off of the Oscars, and there's different outfits, like, of course, the Ken outfit for Ryan Gosling, a couple of dresses, but they actually added basically the naked attire that John Cena ended up coming out to during the Oscars, which I think is absolutely hilarious. I'm loving how Funko is kind of like really getting on the ball with pop culture moments nowadays. They did it with the Jason Kelce pop at the one NFL game. They're doing it with the Pop Yourself with like the Duncan attires. And now they're doing it here with the Pop Yourself, where you can basically make yourself naked for the most part with like the card in front of your private part to cover that up. So I think that's absolutely hilarious. And I'm surprised that they don't jump on the ball and actually making a John Cena pop in this way, where you do have one weekend to go pre-order it like you did with like the Jason Kelce pop. So that's hilarious how Funko just on the ball is going with these like pop culture moments nowadays. Then we have a pop comic covers of Boba Fett from Star Wars. This covers is actually pretty sweet. And I love the pop design they went with, where it goes along with like the retro style pops they have been doing, like they recently did with the Princess Leia for TargetCon 2024. But for this pop comic covers is really awesome. And I love the whole box art for it also, where it's not your typical Funko Pop box. It's kind of like what they do with like blacklight pops, where you barely see any white. That's really cool. And so far I'm liking this better than I believe the Luke Skywalker that's already released. And there is rumors of a Darth Vader one coming out. So I'm really excited to see what they pull off with that. Then Entertainment Earth announced a pop of Madison from She-Hulk, which it's very surprising that they didn't do this much earlier when the show was coming out, and especially when that whole wave was being released, because now I feel like there isn't that much hype towards it. This was one of Funko's big problems that they keep going down the route of, is releasing pops much later past the hype of when the show is released. Especially a huge example this year is releasing Squid Game Funko NFTs, where we are years past the hype point of the Squid Game series, and that no one really cared about the show at that point. But this is one of those characters that we kind of wanted to see in pop form, so I'm kind of glad that they're finally coming out with this pop. Then we have a new wave of Hunter x Hunter pops coming out, in which I don't really know much about Hunter x Hunter, but of course it's an anime. People go nuts towards anime pops, and I mean, you got the girl with the huge glasses. I mean, that's pretty cool, but nonetheless, I don't have much of a personal reaction, but I'm sure a lot of you anime fans do. And speaking of anime, I on purposely wanted to save this one for last because I will 100% be buying all these pops, and that is the brand new wave of Yu-Gi-Oh pops, where we have pops like Jaden Yuki, Chaz Princeton, a Winged Karibo, Ojama Yellow, a couple of the elemental heroes, and then we actually have Harpies Lady with the very first Yu-Gi-Oh Chase variant, which of course I am going to be buying all these pops because I am trying to have a 100% set of Yu-Gi-Oh Funko Pops. And I think it's absolutely hilarious how they turned Ojama Yellow into an actual Funko Pop. Looks absolutely hilarious. They kept the lips, as you can actually see on the actual Duel Monster and in the card. I think another Karibo, like, did we really need it? Not really, especially because we had the normal one and the glow-in-the-dark flocked version, but that's all right, I guess. And then the Harpies Lady, I like how they went with the chase and how they not only did a different outfit, but different color as terms to the wings. I think they did a great job with that. And I wonder if the outfit is going to be more of a metallic touch, but nonetheless, I am obviously going to be trying to get that chase because I am getting a 100% complete set. And it is really surprising to me that now is the time that they decided to add chases into the Yu-Gi-Oh lineup, when we've seen lineups like, let's say, Dragon Ball Z, Demon Slayer, and My Hero Academia have tons of chase variants for those Funko Pop sets. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed today's video of me talking about the latest Funko Pop announcements, my opinions of them, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down below on what your favorite announcements were this past week, and I hope to see you guys on another video on the channel. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.